Welcome to a brand new episode of Undisputed Anime. This is the podcast where we like to give you some recommendations, reviews, and anime news sometimes. I am your host, the Taicho of anime recommendations, Zane Taicho. And as always, I'm joined by the man of 100 manga and manhwas, Mr. Susu Day. How are you, good sir?
Happy Saturday. It's Saturday again.
It's Saturday.
Don't get me on
yes.
that. Rebecca Black.
Absolutely. How you been? Been a
Not too
minute.
bad. You know, he's
Yeah.
been some busy times. I say that like I wasn't off for a week exclusively playing like video games.
Oh man, yeah. It's it's been interesting these last couple of days. Like I stupidly went on a bit of a manga haul last weekend. And like I picked up Trojan X, which is from
Oh, you got the really nice cover as well.
But the thing is, like in comparison, it's so huge compared to other manga. So it's kind of like there's the Don, and it is like twice the size.
Yeah.
It's just crazy. But yeah, very cool.
It's a nice set piece. A little bit of a slow starter is Trojan X, but I would definitely recommend it, and I really hope that when the anime inevitably comes around, that they do it justice, because it really like Tokyo Ghoul was great manga, Tokyo Ghoul great manga, Tokyo Ghoul anime. I didn't enjoy it as much as other people did. Tokyo Ghoul, I hear that the anime was better because it kept more to the manga, but I think that again, with the first series, kind of suffered in the same way that a lot of series do, where I don't think that it was clear where it was going or where it would end.
Yeah.
So it's like they were keen to, try and make it as well rounded as possible.
Yeah. I guess it's one of those tricky things as well. It's like, how do you convey 2 chapters in 20 minutes? Considering like how deep Tokyo Ghoul can get.
Yeah, there's
so many different levels.
Yeah, there's so much going on in Tokyo Ghoul, and if you miss a chapter, you miss a very key part of what is causing the story to progress. So
Absolutely. But hey, today is not about Tokyo Ghoul. Sadly, this week we will be talking about Demon Slayer. Our thoughts on the first episode, as well as our whole movie experience. We'll also be taking a look at the Anime Awards. We not last episode, but we did an episode not too long ago about our nominations. This week we'll actually talk about some of the winners and our thoughts on that as well. So
I was robbed. I was robbed. They didn't take my opinion into account at all. I'm the co-host on a podcast. My opinion should mean more than anything.
Interesting fact: we were ranked number 11th in India on Apple Podcast. So yeah, for all our Indian audience, thank you out there.
I'd like to thank the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark VPN, who have given me, now get this, 83% off plus 3 months free. So if you've been meaning to pick up a VPN, now might be the time. Surfshark is a trusted VPN to help you protect your privacy online. Whether that's protecting yourself from malicious websites, or if you're in a public Wi-Fi connection, you can keep your information locked down. Surfshark's clean web feature blocks ads, trackers, malware, and phishing attempts, allowing you to surf the web safely. Plus, it lets you change your virtual location. So if there's an anime on Netflix that's not available in your country, but say in Japan, guess what? You're in Japan now. You want to use BBC iPlayer to watch all of Doctor Who. So pick up Surfshark using the link in the description down below and use the code Undisputed Anime and you'll get 83% off and 3 months free. Check it out.
Let's jump into it. Should we do some anime news just before we just warm things up?
Yeah, you set the stage. I'm gonna
Yeah.
quell my rage.
I think you'll like this. This is some new, fresh news coming in. The One Punch manga artist is starting his own original anime series.
Okay.
Which I think would be really cool because I think his name's pronounced Yusuke Mada. Shared this on Twitter, and I mean, his artwork has been phenomenal in
Yeah.
One Punch Man. But yeah, the fact like he's getting his own original series, I think is going to be really exciting.
It's gonna be funny, like that's for certain. Like it's gonna be like if it's anything like Mob Psycho 100 or One Punch
Yeah.
Man, it's gonna be a hilarious watch. And what makes those shows so good is that you have like all this comedy interwoven with these really well done like fight sequences and like this very very strangely serious story every now and then.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I've got some high hopes for it. Like, let's see what becomes of it.
It'd be interesting. In other anime news, Reborn as a vending machine, a beautiful isekai. I can see your face light up there. Reborn as a vending machine anime is scheduled for July 2023. This year will be hit with one big isekai of the summer, no doubt.
I don't know how to feel about as the listeners must be it must be well known to the listeners right now that I love an isekai. So does Zane. We love
yeah, I love
a
an
good
isekai.
isekai, but then there are some isekai that come out which are like so like come out of like nowhere, and you're like, what was the author smoking
Yes.
when they conceptualized this initially? Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to say that it will be bad in any sense. I imagine it's probably going to be very heartwarming and very funny. But some of the stuff that comes out in manga and anime historically can be quite like bonkers.
Yeah, it feels like a new subgenre of isekai now, where you can be reincarnated into an inanimate
As a
object.
thing, yeah.
Yeah, because there's the sword one, isn't there?
Yeah, I need to
read.
Yeah, I need to get around to reading some of these other isekai. I'm very interested in the one where the story is actually about the truck driver whose job it is to hit potential protagonists and send them into other worlds.
Yeah, Truck-kun.
Yeah, God. I hope that Truck-kun finds you all well today at your adventures and don't leave too much behind.
Yeah, so this is an odd take, but the summer's always full with isekai, so I'll probably watch a handful of episodes. We'll wait.
At least to give a impartial review, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as a man of recommendations, it's only fair that I spend time looking at this. Huge news: the Boruto anime will be ending on March 26th, but this is to end part 1.
Okay, so this lines up so well with the manga right now.
Yeah.
And where the manga is at the moment, I'm like super excited. I'm actually going to get back onto the Boruto anime because of how good the manga is. Like without spoilers, it's kind of like the manga's kind of now gone full circle, and we're like kind of finally at the point where you can see. Obviously, if you've even just read the first chapter of Boruto or seen the first episode, you obviously see that future scene where Boruto is standing on the and Kawaki is standing on the Hokage monument, facing each other down. In the manga, you can see the path to that now. and stuff. It's starting to like kind of set up like all this stuff now. It's getting really good. So I'm very keen to actually jump back onto Boruto, skip out all the filler, and just go for it.
It's the filler thing has been really tricky because apparently there's certain elements from the source material in the filler as well. So it's kind of like there's certain filler that you shouldn't really skip.
They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They absolutely know what they're doing. They saw what people were doing with Naruto and Naruto Shippuden. They saw that there's a drop off. So it's like you gotta tuck in some really juicy bits within the filler to make sure people are still watching those episodes.
It's true.
And to be fair, not all filler is bad.
No, not at all.
It's just that a lot of filler is exactly as the name describes it. It's there to bulk out a series, and sometimes it's appreciated, sometimes it's not. So
yeah, I've always liked the idea that this should be similar to the My Hero Academia seasonal, like every season is an arc. But then I don't know if there was a lot to kind of work from anyway to do that.
I think that the main problem with Boruto is that the manga was conceptualized and it started, and then they immediately went to town in making an anime.
Yeah,
because I imagine that they just wanted to capitalize on the momentum of like Shippuden, which was still present.
Yeah,
when actually it probably could have done with a couple of years to just like let the manga progress.
Yeah.
Get to a point where you could do what they've done with My Hero Academia, and you can just put out a whole arc
every season.
Because I think that's what everyone off Boruto as an anime initially is, that it feels like filler off the bat. It feels nothing like, well, you've got like the general feel of Naruto in it, but it's like it feels like you're going straight into like filler. There's no, and I think I've said this on the show before. It's like what makes Boruto like turns people off from Boruto, I think, is that there isn't any like conflicts. It's like it's set after this like great shinobi war, and like even though there are still like bad people in the world and there are still bad things happening, there isn't like this like war between the ninja nations anymore, like the nations anymore. Like there's not like children aren't having to go out on these dangerous missions constantly against rival like nations. So it's kind of, it's a very different tone. They're living in a world like I guess it could be compared to like I guess it can be compared to like when you hear like people of older generations like, oh, you have no idea what it was like when I was younger. Like we had to like go to the army, we had to go to war, and now you guys just like get to like live peacefully and stuff like that, and like really bitter about the fact that they don't have that same bad experience,
No, it's an interesting point. It's definitely it's I think like you said, it adds to the whole tapestry that is Boruto at the moment. So Boruto. I keep saying it weird. I don't know why. Boruto. Here's an interesting thing. So as we say, part 1 is ending in March. We'll be getting OG Naruto with 4 new episodes.
What are these episodes going to be?
Yes,
because basically what I'm hearing here is that we're getting 4 new filler episodes of a series that ended years ago.
Well, this is to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the
Don't let me stop you.
That's okay. So this is actually to celebrate the 20th anniversary. So it's like you said, I was thinking about it. Is it going to be an OVA? Is it going to be just them remaking fan favorite episodes, or is it, like you say, just 4 filler episodes?
See, I think that this would have been an ideal time, and I mean, I don't I'm not like an expert, though I claim to be.
Mm.
And I've never made an anime or written a manga before, but this seems to me like it would have been a perfect opportunity to just do a movie,
Mm.
just set in the Naruto era instead of like Beyond,
Yeah.
because it would be self-contained in the way that all the other Naruto movies are.
Yeah. Yeah.
And like 4 episodes would probably equate to about a movie anyway. And it
Yeah.
would
Whole feature
you could
length.
then make it a much bigger deal, because then it'd be like, oh, it's the like anniversary, go to the movies and see it.
Mm.
There's like all this hype about it, you know?
I think this comes off the fan reaction of I think last year, or I'm trying to remember what it was. I think it was like Jump or something, Festa or something like that. They did this like trailer, but it was all new animation, and it was like all the key moments in OG
Oh
Naruto.
yeah, that was a great bit of animation.
And I
Like,
think it got like a lot of people excited to the idea of them reanimating it, or something along those lines. And I kind of suspect this might be like the answer to that, if you know what I mean. Like maybe they saw the numbers and they were like, "Oh, people really still want OG Naruto. Let's do something about it." Like,
do you know what I heard? I heard
mm.
that the guys at the top, the tippy top, they
Oh yeah,
smelt money. They smelt money. And they were like, we can beat this dead horse a little bit more. It's still, if you hit it hard enough, it's still coughing up money.
Bleach came back a couple of months ago. What are we doing? Like,
Yeah, exactly that. And like obviously, like at the most recent PlayStation showcase, we got
mm.
a trailer for the Naruto Ultimate Ninja like
Oh
complete
yeah,
collection of games.
yes.
And you know what? I might get it, because I skipped out on a couple of them, but I really enjoyed the games when I played them. It's just that, you buy one and then it's like, oh well, we're going to release another one.
Mm.
so
Oh
so if
man,
they're going to give
yeah.
me a complete one, why not? Let's do it. Let's go.
Excited for the Budokai Tenkaichi 4?
I think I'm excited, but I'm less excited than you are.
What do you mean?
Your hype levels are over 9,000.
They are over 9,000 for that game. Yeah.
I forget. I forget. Is Tenkaichi the games which were more akin to the most recent Dragon Ball Z fighting games, where it's like kind of like a Street Fighter esque, like side on, or was Tenkaichi the one where you had like the entire reign of the map
Yeah.
vertically and horizontally?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm much more excited then, because I really like the games where you can like fly about and like and like knock people like through mountains and stuff.
hmm I see. Um, yeah, you're right. Tenkaichi was that one where you had the full sort of map to play around in, really,
Mm.
um, and the whole distance, which was cool. I must confess, Budokai 3 is my favorite, just because of the dragon engine that they created, which yeah, y- I
What's
could
the
talk about it.
scars?
I could talk about it, but I'm not going to. I'm going to try and refrain myself.
Make a
Uh,
TikTok.
maybe I will. But funny enough, talking about anime games, Attack on Titan Fortnite collab is coming or is
I
already
watched
out.
the trailer and the Fortnite's getting wild. Like it's,
Mm.
but the thing is, I don't play Fortnite. I don't really have any interest in playing Fortnite, despite
hmm
I'm a gamer. I like to play
Yeah.
games, but I've never like found the appeal in Fortnite in the way that other people have. What I am liking, despite the fact that they are so shamelessly pulling in like all these properties from like love franchises, and
hmm
obviously there's method to that because you get introduce a lot of people who like those things into Fortnite.
Mm.
I like that they're not just putting them in as skins. I like that they bring with them like actual gameplay mechanics. Like obviously in this trailer, you get to see them, Eren using the mobility gear to like zip about and use the blades. Like when Deku and All Might got added in, they added that whole new attack. When it was the Dragon Ball Z stuff, you could do like Kamehameha and all that sort of stuff.
It's bonkers, like, that they can do this. And even, they with Spider-Man, they had the web slinging mechanic,
Yeah.
and it just kind of like, I there's so many studios that are... Say again?
When the Infinity Gauntlet was in there, and then all of a sudden one person on the map was Thanos, and like they had to, and it was like everyone kill Thanos.
Yeah, it's just crazy, like, how they can turn this out at a high level as well. Excuse me, compared to other studios that like struggle with things like the Spider-Man web sling mechanics, and there's a whole gaming franchise based on Attack on Titan that takes years to make. Yet Fortnite have done it in...
I think that they've basically used. I think that a lot of these other like studios are using their own proprietary engines to do it, whereas obviously I'm not like going to sit here and like tout like how amazing Unreal Engine is, but like I would be doing a discredit to the listeners and everyone if I were to suggest that Unreal Engine isn't very good for very flexible game development. Because I think that's the problem that let's say for like 343 for Halo Infinite has experienced, is that if they get that, obviously Microsoft has got all of these only uses contractors, so they're only in for like 2 or 3 years before they have to leave.
Yeah.
And during that time, they've got to learn how to use the 343 slip space engine. So that's like half of the time they're there learning to get good at it. And then by the time that they're actually good at it, they've got like maybe like half their time left. And then they leave, and then you've got to then train more people. Whereas Unreal Engine is so widely used in the industry, it means that like it's very easy to... it's a very mutable system. It can be changed very easily.
Absolutely, yeah. It's yeah, I don't know how much more to expand on it really. Like, it's it blows my mind. And I guess like Epic have like an incredible funding behind them with all the microtransactions and such.
Epic would be, again, obviously, like this goes back ages now. Obviously, there was that whole lawsuit going on where Epic was trying to say that obviously like Apple was like holding the monopoly on like the store, and they're getting too much money. But it's one of those situations like with Microsoft against Sony right now, where it's kind of like it's a very large rich company trying to make it out like they're the underdog, like they're like the small guy, when actually no, you're still a multi-million-dollar like corporation at the end of the day. So it's kind of like you've absolutely got the money to make things good.
Absolutely.
But that's not what this show is about. We're here to talk about anime.
This is true. So on the subject of anime, we saw Demon Slayer, which was at the movies. It's so just to clear this up on top. This is the last 2 episodes of season 2, with the first episode of season 1 as a whole cinematic experience. So essentially, we got to see the first episode of the Swordsmith village early. Off the top, how was your experience? Did you enjoy it?
I will tell you this. I'll tell you this without a shadow of doubt. I would have paid to go and see it, even if it had just been the last 2 episodes of season 2.
Yeah.
I absolutely... seeing that fight on the big screen with that kind of audio was incredible. So, like, even just purely on that basis, I'm not fussed the fact that we were basically just seeing episodes we've already seen. It was an incredible experience. The energy was so good in the theater.
Yeah.
Like we've been to like a number of like like movie screenings of like anime movies,
Mhm.
I have never seen a turnout for one like I saw for this.
Yeah,
Like it was a much more packed theater than we usually expect to see.
that's so
Um,
true.
and then even just moving on the same vein, I
Yeah.
would have paid just to have seen the first 5 minutes of episode 1 in the cinema because it was a cinematic marvel, and I can't
Mm.
imagine having seen that for the first time on the small screen.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess for those who are unaware as well, just to give a little context, um, let me just pull this up so people can see it. So there's a little bit of the community is basically talking how some of them felt scammed because they thought this was a whole new movie. So this article here just explains that Demon Slayer Swordsmith movie faces scam claims after US debut. Again, not many people realizing this was a collection of episodes put together. And when I say a collection of episodes, it wasn't seamless. They still had end credits and openings into the next one. I agree with you. Like that fight sequence at the end of season 2 is one of my favorite fight sequences I've ever seen. Um, and to see that on the big screen, amazing experience. Episode 1, beautifully animated, like the color grading and everything looks amazing on the big screen. Almost like for a second, I thought to myself, I wonder if the last 2 episodes had been reanimated for the big screen or it's just been upscaled. Because
Yeah.
for me personally, I felt like there was a visual difference between the two. But even so, it didn't take away from my overall enjoyment of the whole thing.
Yeah.
I get again, the only thing I was a bit griped on was the end credits of
Yeah,
each
it's
segment.
I think they could have done it a bit more seamlessly.
Mm.
Um, but I think, and we talked about this before the show, but I think that I think that the reason why some people have come out of it feeling like cheated is
Hmm.
because, and I said this as well. Like, I don't think it's a fault of the actual episodes themselves.
No.
I also don't think it's really a fault of the presentation of the episodes. I think it's really more of an issue with marketing.
Yeah.
Because we went into this, we're obviously like we've got our fingers to the pulse a little bit
Mm.
more. We went into this harboring no illusion that this was anything more than the last 2 episodes and the first new episode. But I can
Hmm.
see how people have seen, oh, it's going to be in the movies. It's obviously a movie, and actually, it's obviously not. And I think that it should have probably been highlighted better by like theaters and just ads that it was what it was.
Yeah, yeah, I can see where you're coming from there, and I guess the Mugen Train set such a high expectation as well.
Mhm.
So again, if people had only seen Mugen Train before, or again, if people maybe have just watched what was on UK Netflix, for example, they had no idea. Like, oh, I'm watching the same episodes I've just watched on Netflix. Because
Yeah.
oh, saying that actually, no, that's forgive me. On UK Netflix, they've only gone up to Mugen Train, but episodically. There isn't the movie version.
Oh, so you've actually got to go to Crunchyroll to get the movie.
You have to go to Crunchyroll to watch the movie, and then you have
That's
to
fair
go to
considering that they were involved in like the production
the
for it.
distribution and everything. Plus, it means like they haven't seen the Entertainment District arc either.
Oh, of course.
So for some
Okay.
people in the UK, they've only seen season 1, episodic version of Mugen Train, gone to the cinema, and then seen
Seen the
the ending.
end of the
Yeah.
entertainment. Okay, that's what I wasn't aware of that, but this gives me a great opportunity to jump in here and say this is the problem with too many streaming services getting a hold of anime. Like you need it
Mm.
all in. You need it all streamlined in one place, or it causes confusion like this.
Yeah.
So I get that like Netflix is generally more
Accessible.
widely used because because it's like it's not just anime on there. So like in that respect, Crunchyroll is quite a niche streaming service because it's only worth getting if you watch a lot of anime. But it's like at the same time, if Netflix didn't have Demon Slayer, then the only place to watch it would be Crunchyroll.
Yeah.
And then you'd know. So
yeah, so it's a whole tricky situation. Situation.
But it's interesting because I get the gripes and stuff, but a lot can be said about seeing an episode of an anime in an environment like that. Like I said, the energy was so good when we saw it, like especially when the first episode of the new season was on, because everyone was like watching bated breath to see what happened, and there was like laughter. It was so good, and like you've had a similar experience when you went to Comic-Con and you saw the first episode of the new series of Bleach.
Yes.
Like seeing an episode like that, seeing the first episode of something that's not widely out yet, in a room full of people who are the same as yourself. Like we don't get a lot of experiences like that as anime fans in the UK. You've got to like go far afield to find an experience like that. So I think for what it was, excellent. It just needed to be marketed better.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's all about setting expectations, really, isn't it?
But episode 1, Undisputed for me.
Undisputed first episode.
I think it really sets up what's going to happen without going too much into it. It left me wanting more. Really looking forward to the new season starting up for real. 10 out of 10. Really looking forward to it. Like I said, I would have watched it just to see that first 5 minutes. Like, because that was so beautifully animated. I couldn't. I think my mouth was open for half of it.
I know there's definitely some weebs that are looking forward to that hot spring scene.
Yes, probably.
Because they have needs and desires like we all do. Cool. Right. Shall we talk about the Crunchyroll Awards? So the Crunchyroll Awards took place, and I have to admit, I haven't seen all of the winners. I may have only just seen one or two as I've scrolled through, but I'm interested to see what your reaction is to some of these. I think some of these are kind of a given, like best voice actor performance for Cyberpunk Edge Runners for the dubbed. Then again,
I think that I've got some controversial.
Where do you want to go?
Anime. Let's just start from the top. We don't need to make a huge thing about this. Anime of the year was Cyberpunk Edge Runners, and rightly so. It was hugely popular, and I think that in our predictions we expected that Cyberpunk Edge Runners was probably a front runner.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was a stacked card anyway. Like, it was some top ones. I watched a clip back, and you said you wanted Ranking of Kings, but you think it would be Edge Runners, and you called it.
Yeah, I really think that for what Ranking of Kings was and what it delivered, it should have won. But I realized that it is a much more niche anime, and as good as it was, I think that Cyberpunk had more. It had more to it in that it was distributed on Netflix, so it's gonna have a much wider audience.
Yeah.
So that's not to take away. That's not to say that it doesn't deserve the win. It absolutely does deserve the win.
It does,
but it obviously did have a leg up on the competition, so to speak.
A cyber leg.
Yeah.
No, that's fair. Man, I'm gonna gush about this, and I think you
is it best original anime?
Let's go! Oh, this makes me so happy. So happy. Yeah, it was well deserved. It's so good, this series. So good. LaCroix Recoil, for those that are listening. I just realized like we have a whole listener place. But yeah, this was one of my favorites of the year, and I'm so happy it got original anime of the year. So good by A1 Pictures.
I'm happy for you because you gush about it.
Oh, it's so anyway, you want to go next?
Yeah. So best character design.
Yeah.
I mean, we were just gushing about like Demon Slayer, so I think well designed characters all around. The animation style of Demon Slayer just generally is exceptional. So I'm guessing that where this really comes from is the fact that people love Tengen.
Yeah.
They love Tengen and they love his like flashy design.
Yeah, the swords, the bouldering shoulders.
Yeah. Or maybe this is just about the buff mice.
The buff mice, yes. Who could forget those? Fantastic. But yeah, even so, like overall, Demon Slayer has like such a unique design about it anyway, doesn't it? We spoke about it before with the power system, but yeah, I think it's well deserved. I might actually think about it. Who else was in that category? Okay, JoJo's,
Kings, yeah.
Cyberpunk.
I think all of these were excellent contenders for it. I think that I would have been happy with anyone winning it, to be fair. But I think that Tengen really stole everyone's hearts.
Best continuing series, no surprises, One Piece.
I mean, any series that is continued for as many episodes as One Piece has deserves the win. That's no surprise. We got best new series next.
Yes.
Spy Family.
Spy Family. Yeah, I could see why that won that category.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think it's captured people's hearts in a way that hasn't been done in a little while. So
yeah, that's no big surprise there. Best animation.
We were just talking about like character design, so I mean it's no surprise. I think people would watch it just to see the swords animations.
Yeah, I mean Ufotable is known for its incredible animation at this point with the Fate series and everything else. I'm just kind of surprised, like, Attack on Titan's in here as well. And that season was every week had like a spectacular sequence in it. So, but then again, we just mentioned it, back-to-back episodes of great fight sequences. Makes a lot of sense.
I mean, Attack on Titan's not even that good anyway, so it's fine.
But its opening is the best opening sequence of the year. Rumbling. To be fair, it is fantastic.
I'm not here to fight anyone on this. I'm not going to fight. Like, if someone wants to fight about Attack on Titan in general, maybe. But like, I'm not here to dispute the outcome of these rewards. These were voted for. Like, this isn't something that was just arbitrarily chosen. Like,
no, it was voted by the fans for the fans. So
yeah, so I'm not here to argue.
Best film, Jujutsu Kaisen 0.
Deserves it. It was absolutely phenomenal, even though we were getting concussion.
When we watched it in 4DX.
Yeah. Though I did expect One Piece Red to get it.
This is it. Like, this one I think we sat on the longest because One Piece Red, and then you've got Dragon Ball Super Superhero.
Yeah, they've got huge followings.
Yeah.
So I did it. I wanted Jujutsu Kaisen 0 to win, but I expected One Piece or Dragon Ball to win.
Yeah.
So, I mean, vindication.
Yeah. Jujutsu Kaisen is just an absolute gem. So I'm looking forward to that. Oh, best main character is Eren Yeager. Who is
He's
he
the
up
best main
against?
character. He's also the best antagonist. He's also
Isn't that 2022 or 2021?
yeah, he won
Best
the
villain.
post protagonist and best villain as well. I think it should have gone to Boji. I think Boji should have won.
I think I might agree with you there. It should have been either Boji or Chisato from like a recoil, LaCroix recoil. Sorry, but yeah, I'm not surprised.
Eren Yeager.
I wonder who was best supporting. Oh, okay,
Anya,
from
obviously.
yeah.
She's captured the hearts of a whole generation.
I'm guessing Anya won Must Protect at all costs. Yeah,
Obviously.
I kind of wish it was Boji though.
Yeah, but I think Boji can defend himself.
He can, but I felt more attached to Boji than I have done to
Well,
Anya.
you go on a journey with Boji,
Mm,
so it's kind of like it's a unique situation. Because like with Anya, she's very cute and naive and lovable straight off the bat. But like you
yeah,
go on like the whole journey from zero to hero with
yes,
Boji, and you get like a deep emotional attachment to him. You want him to succeed.
that's true. True underdog story, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Best action goes to Demon
No
Slayer.
surprise there. No surprise at all. Honestly, 10 out of 10. Cannot complain. Especially having now seen those last two episodes on the big screen.
Also, best fantasy. Jobless Reincarnation didn't get it. All Ranking Kings.
Yeah, or Case Study of Vanitas. I think all of them here, they all have great fantasy worlds.
Mm-hmm.
I just think that at the moment, Demon Slayer is just doing everything right.
Yeah, ticking all the boxes.
It's like I think that when we were talking about this just in our group chat of our friends, it's like Demon Slayer itself, just as a property, is really good because the manga is really good without being too long. It's like the perfect length. Like every arc doesn't go on longer than it has to, and it ends exactly when it should. It doesn't like try and stretch it out. It's not like you get to like a final battle and then the villain like gets away and there's a new villain. It's like this is it. They beat the final boss, and that's the end of the story. So I think that like Demon Slayer is like a very nice, self-contained. It's got very It's got very good lore built into the world. Like the history of the world is really good.
Yeah.
What are you doing, dog?
Best comedy.
I can see that. Like Spy Family is very funny.
Yeah, I really, really like Uncle from Another World.
See, I've only seen clips of Uncle from Another World on TikTok,
Have you?
and it looks hilarious. He's like, I think the clip I saw was the guy looking for like a part for his computer or something like that, and like the uncle is like uses his like abilities to go and get it, and he's like back, and then he's like, wait a second, we could do this for lots of stuff.
yeah, it's really I guess it's kind of, I'm just trying to think how to describe it. All the real world stuff isn't nearly as exciting as trying to understand what happened in those 5 years or 10 years, whatever it is, that he's in this, like, he's been isekai'd. So a lot of the time you're just kind of like, he'll say like something crazy, and then you'll be like, but what do you mean? Like, what actually happened? Like, he'll say, it'd be like that time I fought a dragon, and you'll be like,
Excuse
now
me?
I want to see this. And then he'll show his memory as they all sit and have a cup of tea, and then you'll be like, it's a lot easier than I remembered it being. So it's such a charming show, but also you have to see him try to catch up on the 10 years that he was gone. So
I
he's
always like it in situations. You see that a lot in manhwa, where like the hero will return, and it'll be like the world's changed in a big way, and they're learning how to like reintroduce themselves in society again.
because he thinks like everyone should still be using flip like Sony Ericssons when we've all moved on to like smartphones now. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like flip phones and stuff. So it's really fun, really charming. I really like it. And then best drama is Attack on Titan,
Eren Yeager.
which is again, it was a great category with 86-86.
I think you would have loved 86-86 to win.
I would have, yeah.
I didn't really have a horse in this race on this occasion.
Any other categories you wanted to have a look at?
No, I think it really a lot of it is like voice actors after that point, and we also I watch it all in the original Japanese. I know that you watch a lot more dubbed. So I don't really have any strong opinions about the voice performance, especially because the voice performance was Attack on Titan, and I don't really care. So
you all attacked out now.
Yeah, I can't wait until they do the final season part 2.8, only to be followed by a DLC to get the final bit of the story.
My sister's a huge fan, and she texted me this week. She's like, "Have you seen the latest episode yet?" And I was like, "Oh no, I haven't." So then I went to watch it. It's not an episode; it's over an hour long. I was like, "Oh my gosh, I need to reschedule around this one episode." Like,
bonkers.
Yeah.
I'm just going to also just take a moment to apologize to any person who's actually viewing this episode, as I've very clearly been distracted by my phone. I'm waiting on a delivery. And so I need to just and these are noise cancelling headphones. I will not hear my dog go. I told him to call me when he gets here. So
to be fair, I think we've covered everything that we set out for this episode. So I think it's fair to wrap up.
Listen, it's good to be back in the driving seat.
We've had a good chin wag this episode. If you've enjoyed this episode, make sure to leave a comment, like, share, and subscribe, as you'd be helping us out in a big bad way. All the relevant links to follow us on social media will be in the description down below, or you can check us out at undisputed_animes on your favorite socials. Sushi Day, you've had fun today?
I have. I always have fun when I'm talking to my favorite Zane Taicho.
To opposed to all the other Zane Taichos you talk to.
Well, I got a new Zane Taicho at work, apparently, so
we don't talk about him. Anyways,
just so you know, he recently purchased a Akatsuki durag. So
of course he did.
Yeah, yes he did.
I feel like this guy's going to become my rival or my nemesis. Like
my too.
Anyways, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll no doubt catch you on the next episode. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out.
What do you want to hear about?
Ooh, yeah. Let us know what you want us to talk about. We'll catch you then. Peace.